Hi there, my name is Bimbo Akintola. I'm an actor and you're watching Pulse TV. Look, first and foremost, you must remember that we are a reflection of a society. What we do is a reflection of what's happening around us. And we're supposed to inform and at the same time educate. So I believe that every film must have a message. And if you look around our society, there's so many things that are wrong, especially in this our country, Nigeria. You know, they call us a third world country. I don't have problems with that because it means we're a growing nation. And we are growing because we're a fabulous nation. Anyways. But we're plagued with problems that follow a third world country, a growing nation. And then, of course, we have our own cultural issues as well, where people who don't talk about certain things, rape, we do not talk about rape, because just mentioning rape means that the person who's been raped already, there's a stigma, because then everybody's pointing at you and looking at you and saying, no, that one I was raped. We don't talk about sex because we think, it should be done only at night. And there's so much you need to teach your children about sex. We don't talk about dyslexia, things like that. We don't talk about women suffering in this country. We don't talk about husbands bashing their women, women bashing their husbands, all those things. We just, we sort of keep quiet about it. Thank goodness for social media. A lot more is out there. If we talk about these things, I believe that that's the first step towards finding a solution to our problems. So I do films that talk about stuff that's wrong with our society that we can change. Both. I mean, you're going to say that's not possible, but it is. It's true. Both. Okay, that's not true. Stage, honestly. It has to be the stage. Stepping on stage is stepping into another world, and it doesn't stop until the play stops. So it's for an hour and a half, you're totally somebody else. It's amazing. I can't describe it. If I try, I sound cheesy. But it's just, as soon as you're on stage, you're somebody else, and it's amazing. I think I was on a certain level, but it still was surprising. Here, what we talk about issues that affect women and girls, and a lot of people say, oh, it's those women that are talking about men. We're not talking about men, actually. We're talking about women. We're talking about relationships. We're talking about mother, daughter, husband, wife, all those things that, could be different in our society if we just communicate better. And one of the things that you realize is that all the issues that we talk about are universal. So in America, they understand rape. In America, they understand women who have low self-esteem, who are dealing with, self-confidence. They understand most of the things that we were talking about. So I did expect, on a certain level, the reaction that we got, but it was still surprising. It's the same thing everywhere in the world, in every industry. Sound of Music is timeless. I can't remember the last American film, Hollywood film I watched. What was it about? They're always saving the world. What was it? I can't remember. It's the same thing everywhere. There are some stories, because some stories are just, it's like everything comes together at the same time to create a beautiful picture. The acting, the chemistry between the actors, the script, the director, the technical, everything comes together to create a classic movie. And when that synergy is right, the movie is everlasting. That's one way to look at it. And then sometimes what it is that they're talking about is something you can always relate to. So that also makes it classic. And then there's certain stuff, some guy beating his wife, you're like, yeah, that's not me. But there's certain things that, like, people talk to me about Out of Bounds all the time. All the time. All the time. I mean, every day I get someone saying, oh, that film, And for them, maybe it was the character, or maybe it's the relationship between the characters between myself and RMD, between myself and Rachel Oniga, that was so amazing and so real to watch that it became a classic. So there's always something in certain movies that make, like Sound of Music, the children, Captain Von Trapp, Maria, it all came together to form an amazing picture. A story that never ends, in the sense that every time you look at it, you learn something new. Every time you see it, you realize something. That would be it. It was an honor, honestly. It was an honor. And the woman was obviously a saint. I mean, no, she must have had her, but she was amazing. Everyone I spoke to, yes, in Nigeria, we have this thing we do. Anyone that's dead is great. But this was different in the sense that they had little stories to tell me about different things. Even my friends that met her had stories to tell me. And they didn't know her. She was their doctor. I have a friend who was a patient. And she told me, she said, oh, the first time I went there, she looked at me and she said, oh, what's wrong with you? I mean, at your age, you should know better. That kind of, she was stern. Then she was so stern that she was taken aback. Like, this woman doesn't know me. Why is she talking to me like that? But she was concerned and she instantly went into mother mode. And you scold your children, and that's what she was doing. She said it took her a while to realize, and then when she did, she appreciated it. And every story I've heard about that woman is like that. I'll tell you something that happened. We were shooting at the hospital where she worked, and I had done my makeup upstairs, and I rushed to my car to pick up something. Coming back into the lobby of the hospital, there were a few nurses about, and they started crying. They started crying because they said I looked so much like her, and it brought back memories. Now that tells you all you need to know about that person. So playing that kind of person, and then looking at what the role she played during the 93 days that we had Ebola in Nigeria, it was amazing. It's like you saying, okay, I know I might die or I will die, but I don't care. It's important for me to save others. They gave their lives, all of them. They were selfless. They knew that being around Ebola wasn't safe, and they stayed. And I keep asking myself, if it was you, would you do that? And I'm not sure what the answer is. I think until I'm, in that situation before I can actually tell you the truth. Now I can say, oh, I think I might, but I'm not sure. But they actually were confronted with that situation and they stayed. So playing such an amazing person was an honor. No, well, not for me, I don't think. The roles I get are usually roles that interest me, that I want to. The stories are usually stories that I want to be part of. They're the odd, stories that you're not, interested in because of the writing of the script and everything else. But usually, we are, when it comes to the film industry, we're all about the society. We're all about what is going on in Nigeria. Our own best, we show exactly what it is that we see. It's just from different perspectives. So usually when I get scripts, it's just to decide if that story is a story that I want to tell. But I usually, yeah. It's important. I think when we have enough cinemas in Nigeria, it will work as well. Because then you can go to a bank and say, my last film made 500 billion whatever dollars. So, and I had this person and that person and I want to shoot another, and they'll give you the money based on that. Because, then you can rate the movies. You can tell how much you're making on a daily, but we can't do that really in Nigeria. When we say box office, well, we don't have enough cinemas to say box office really. It's a young industry. Our industry is really, really young compared to any other industry. We're what, just 20 plus? We're young. And if you look at Hollywood at 20, they were doing horrible films, and we're much better. I think we're much better. We're actually light years ahead in the sense that some of our films are up to today's standard. Depending on, the director and the technical, some of our films are up to today's standards, which is why they're allowed at certain festivals. But, to get to where we're going, we will have the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's just a natural, path that we must go. Everybody wants to be an actor because they think it's glamorous. But after a while, the people who have talent will be the people that you will see on your screen. The same thing happened in Hollywood. You knew the producers, you were in a film. You were beautiful, you were in a film. Now it's not just about beauty. It's more about, well, Americans love beauty, but also talent. I mean, Angelina Jolie and a few others, even though I don't really like her.
Really?
In the sense, I think inspiration comes, you see, you have dark and you have light. And dark, everything I see from her seems dark. It's from her own personal experiences, but it's always from the dark side. And I think sometimes just to balance it off, you should pull from the light as well. Because, our lives are a balance of good and bad, happiness and sadness. So we have all that to use as an actor, as part of your tool. So why go towards this, dark part all the time when you can also, sometimes play to the light. So that's, what I see with her acting. It doesn't take away from the fact that she is an amazing actor. Well, that's our fault, isn't it? Do we watch the local films? Do we? Do we have the same crowds that go in for Captain America going in for the local films? When I was younger, one of the things that we did, in my house was go to the cinema. We used to go to National Theatre to watch movies. I watched Hubert Ogunde's Aye at the National Theatre. Even though I can't remember what happened. I was really young. I watched, what was it? There was this other movie I watched. There were quite a few movies. My mom had a thing for taking us, and it was a regular thing with a lot of families. We would go to the beach, we would go to the cinema, and then we would go and have dinner somewhere. It was something we did on a weekly. And it was fun. It just helps you to, bond. We did have a cinema culture a long time ago, which was why, the federal government gave grants to people like Hubert Ogunde and all the others when they were shooting their films. And it was on celluloid. Not what we do now, which is digital, but still. So I think slowly but surely the cinema culture is coming back. But we also need to understand that for those who go to the cinema, that our films are important. You find that if you go to somewhere like Mushi, our films are selling better. If you come to the island, Captain America is what you want to watch. So that's the problem. Watch Nigerian films. I, a long time ago, produced a Yoruba film called Aye Aramide. And it was out for about a month before Funke Akindele's film came out. What's that film called?
Jennifer?
Yes, and Jennifer ended the career of my film. No, but come on now, Jennifer was a comedy, and at that point in time, that's what people wanted to see. So but I did produce that one, and then I had a soap on TV as well, Circle of Three, produced and directed by yours truly. Money, really, money and time. I believe I think that's why I haven't done anything till date, because it sort of made me go and sit down and think about so much. It's easy to open your mouth and say, oh my goodness, that film is horrible. They could have done better. But could they? Sometimes you don't have what you need to do better. And I tried really hard when I was shooting, but I did my best, and it wasn't bad, but I didn't make any money because I used all the money and then some in trying to, create this perfect world. So for me, I had to go back and think and say, okay, do you really want to produce? Yes, but only if I can produce the way I want to. Maybe that's being too high and mighty. Maybe you should just start. I fight tooth and nail. I do. I really do. I think there are certain parts of you that should be yours and yours alone, but you don't have to share with anybody else. even on a normal, with you or with other women, you have friends. Some of them you would tell certain things, some of them you won't. And some things you would keep to yourself. So I just feel like, because it's like being in a fishbowl with people seeing everything you do. You would want certain, parts of you to just remain you. And my private life, is that what I hold on to so tight? Because that for me is what should remain mine. It's mine. It could be better, honestly. And I'm not talking in terms of the awards themselves. I'm talking in terms of the glamour. Yes, it could be more. There could be much, much more to it. I mean, when we watch award ceremonies everywhere else, they're so important. It's epic. Everybody's dreaming. It's a great way to inspire people. Because then people are looking forward to it. So it's a great way to inspire people. And I don't think ours inspires anyone. Do people even watch it on TV, I wonder? Do they? Exactly. Because it's not glamorous enough, I guess. We don't make a production of it, and we should. That's what I mean. Maybe glamorous is the wrong word. We should make a production of it. The Oscars. It's so important. It's so this. It's so that. We should make ours that important. And AMA has been around for a while now. A while. It has. So it should have a following. A massive following, because most of the actors that you're talking about have followings. They have massive followings. If you're talking about Genevieve, she has a huge following. Omotola has large following. People who are passionate about her, and we don't see that transfer to this award ceremonies itself, and which is weird. In terms of giving the right awards to the right people, I think they do that. But we don't carry everyone along. We should be able to carry Nigeria along with our award ceremonies. I think we should be able to do that. That's what I see that's missing for me, the glamour. We're done with 93 days, done with Hereward for now. And the next step is in South Africa. I'm going to shoot a movie called Coma. And the script is amazing. So I'm excited. It's also different. I'm very excited. It's with Fabian Olojede. Go to school, please. Get an education. Our lingua franca is English. Try to speak it. Don't speak funny. Go to school. It works. I know that, the situation in Nigeria is horrible. Graduates are not getting jobs, this, that. But, getting an education is about getting work, yes, but it also adds to you. Everything I learned from the University of Ibadan. Everything. I had such amazing lecturers, people that impacted on my life. You're talking Professor Dakwa Deluga, God rest his soul. You're talking Femi Oshofison. You're talking, Uncle Chooks. There's so many people I met, when I went to school. So many, even students that inspired me. And you can't take that away. It's what I use till tomorrow. The tools I learned as an actor, I learned in school. You have talent, yes, but go to school. It's like being a diamond in the rough. Go get some education, it's important. We must be educated. I speak to young people, young girls, and I cringe. It's bad. We're educated people, we're not Olodos. And we can't become Olodos in this generation. It's not your generation, not mine. My own, we go to school. I mean, it's so important. And don't wait for someone to come and change your life. Yeah. You can change your life, and you can also change lives around you. You don't have to be an actor, you don't have to be a star, you don't have to be anything. You just have to be concerned. So it's important that we get an education, that we work on ourselves, because it's working on yourself. The experiences I learned in UI made me ready for some of the experiences, that came after. It's the truth. You need an education. Get one, please. Enjoy. MIP, please. Go to school. I know passion is great and you want to do this, you want to explode, but go to school. Genevieve went back to school. So many people went back to school. Go to school, please.